Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome to Nat Fashion Hub, the best fashion channel in the world. So today we are going to learn how to cut a native with this back line here. As you can see, this is a native I'm working on. This is the shoulders, this is the neck, all right, and this is the back piece of it, and you can see this back line here. I want us to learn how to cut. You can see, I want us to learn how to cut a native with this back line here. So if you are yet to subscribe to my channel, I will appreciate if you can hit the subscribe button and turn your notification bell on so that whenever I drop my videos you will be notified. Thank you so much. Let's hit into the video. For us to cut our native with a back line, first of all, we are going to fold this fabric into two using the chest measurement. And the chest measurement for this native, this very senator top I'm cutting for this person, his chest measurement is 48. So when you are cutting, you divide the chest measurement by 4. If you divide 48 by 4, you should be having 12. All right, so this is 12. We have an 12 stops here. This is 12, and we have an allowance of up to 2.5 inches. That is okay. All right, so I'm not going to be wasting so much time on cutting this top because I have so many videos I've done on how to cut a top. If you check my channel, I have so many videos on how to cut a senator native top, so I'm not going to be wasting much time, so that we quickly go to the back piece and we will learn how to cut and give our top that back line. All right, so I'm not going to be wasting much time on the front piece, but I'll be very snappy. I'll be very smart with it. So first of all, we need to make our fabric straight. All right, you know, you can look at it, it's slanty, and that will not give us accurate measurements. We need to make it straight, okay, so that we'll be sure of what we have here. All right, so fabric is straight now. Okay, now we can be sure of the measurements we are taking. All right, so the first thing we'll do is to get the length of this native, and the length of this native we are going to cut. Sorry, let's just get the measurement we are using. The measurement we are using is, we are using a shoulder measurement. We are using shoulder measurement of 19. I'll call it that. You can write it down if you want to write. Shoulder measurement of 19.5. The chest is 48. The full length is 32. We are using, I think that is basically the measurements we are using for this top. The shoulder, the chest, and the full length. All right, so the shoulder 19.5, chest 48, full length 32. So I'm going to start from here. We will first of all slant. When you're cutting, you slant shoulder by 4 inches from here. We're going to remove a front block, okay, that we'll use it to, before we go ahead with the cutting, we'll remove our front block, remove the back block, then we'll do the cutting. So we're going to slant it. I said in my other video, you slant this because no human beings has a straight shoulder like this. Shoulders are curved, right? Are slanty. That's why you do this, okay? So we're now going to take our measurement from this center point here, between here to here, the center point. We'll check the length of our top, and we say the length is what? The length is 32. So this is 32, all right? So plus hemming allowance of 2 inches, we're using 34, okay? So make sure I get a straight line. But I'm going to measure this from the beginning point here, so that I'll get 2 points to get my straight line. So from the beginning, we're having 36, all right? So I'm going to extend this side so that I can get 2 points to give me a straight line. When I need a straight line, the easiest way is to connect 2 points. That will give a straight line, because if I just use this point and I keep it like this or like this, okay, so having 2 points gives you a straight line. All right, so the next thing we're going to do now is we are done with the front block. We're going to cut it out. So we are done with the front block. Let's get the back block. This is our front piece. Okay, now you can see this is where our attention is now. Please focus on this point here. Now the difference between the wideness, this is the back block, this is the block for the front, this is the back piece. Okay, this is the front piece of the shirt. All right, so you can see the back piece is bigger than the front piece by 2 inches. Okay, just 2 inches, not more than 2 inches to be too wide. Anyway, it can be a design, but I think 2 inches would be more than 2 inches would be a bit too much. But it's a choice anyway. So you see the difference between the size of the back piece and the front piece is what? Is 2 inches. So this is what we're going to do. We are going to first of all, I am going to slant Alright, so the next thing now is to shift this front piece down by 4 inches. Okay, so I'm shifting it down by what? 4 inches. Alright, so you can see here we are having 4 inches. Okay, what we're having here, the back piece is always longer than the front piece when you are cutting your native. All right, so we're having a difference of 4 inches here. Let's confirm that this is 4 inches. You can see it's 4 inches. Let's be more accurate. This is 4 inches, as you can see. All right, 4 inches, 4 inches all the way. And confirm that you still have just 2 inches this side. Adjust it to just 2 inches. We are using just 2 inches. If you decide to use more than 2 inches, it's your choice, but we are using just 2 inches. All right, so the next thing we'll do now is to let's cut it down here as well. So now the next thing to do is to fold this and to stop at the where the front piece stops. Okay, I think you understand this, what I'm doing right now. At this point, you bring your presser so as to make it flat. All right. And then we'll make a notch here. Don't make plus the front piece. We'll make a notch here. In the back piece, we'll make a notch here. Very, very important. Okay. So you can see what we're having. Can you see? If I open this front, you see that there's a line here. Okay. It's on this line that we're going to stitch. Alright. So just the next thing we're going to do is to fold this to meet with this here. All right, hope you are seeing. And then we will take our measurement. All right, so our measurement, we said our shoulder is 19.5. So you divide 19.5 by 2. If you divide 19.5, that's our shoulder. 19.5 divided by 2. So how to divide your tape. You'll be having 9 3/4. All right. So from here, this is 9 3/4 plus a 1/2 inch seam allowance. all right? And the formula for getting our arm, to get your arm measurement, you minus 4 inches from your shoulder measurement and then you divide it by 2. So we have 19.5. 19.5 minus 4 inches, that will give us 15.5. all right? So if we divide 15.5 by 2, we are having 7.75. So we'll locate our 7.75 from here. This is 7.75, all right? Don't forget I say arm is equals to shoulder measurement minus 4 inches divided by 2. So if your shoulder is 17, 17 minus 4 will give you 13. You now divide 13 by 2, you should be having 6.5. But this, the shoulder is 19.5, so minus 4 inches, we have 15.5 divided by 2, we have 7.75. So this is it. So on this armhole line, we'll now check our bust measurement, our chest measurement. And our chest is 48. 48 divide by 2. By 4 rather, you have 12. So this is your what? This is your 12. It's your 12 plus 3/4 inch seam allowance. That is it right there. Okay. So the next thing is to mark here. We're having, if we keep it like this, we're having 10 here. So let's extend this 10 down. Extend this 10 down. And we join this point to this point. This is how to curve your shoulder, right? We join this point here to this point here, all right? So the next thing you will do is to measure 1.5 inch up here. Mark it, all right? Or you can measure the center between here to here. You get the center point, all right? Then you do what? You mark it, all right? Mark the center point, okay? And then measure 1 inch on it, all right? So you now curve your shoulder. Curve it into this 1 inch. Then you take it out. Okay, and we look at this, where these two lines crossed, okay? You can mark like 3/4 inch to know where this line is going to pass, this curve line is going to pass. Very important. So that is the simplest way to curve your shoulder, all right? So the next thing is for us to get our side vent. Measure 16 inches from the arm point there. This is 16 inches, all right? When we get to this place, we measure what we have here, we extend it down. We have 13 here, 12.75 rather. We extend our 12.75 down here. And we use a straight line to do what? To join it. I'm going to show you how to cut the yoke, all right? For this, the yoke is very important. I'll show you how to cut the yoke for this. Very important. So the next thing you do now is to get our neck, and our neck is simply, we're going to open this. Don't make a mistake of cutting the neck with it. Open it. Our neck, the neck of this person is 17, and 17. I did a video on how to locate your neck perfectly, all right? So please check that video, and you will master how to locate your neck. For a neck of 17, we're using 4.5 depth here, a depth of 4.5 by a wideness of 2.5, all right? Right? So I'm going to curve this neck like this. So check in my videos and you will see a video on how to get your neck accurately. So I'm going to curve it like this. Cut it out like this. Now, very importantly, when you get to this point, you might consider folding this in. So you fold this inwards. This is where this line is coming, the shoulder line is coming. So you just deepen it by what? 1/2 inch. It's as simple as this. close it back. All right. So if you open, it's looking this way. You see. So we close it back. Yeah. So the next thing is to cut this. So the next thing we're going to do now is to cut the yoke. All right. To cut the yoke. All right. So how do you cut the yoke for this? Are you going to keep it like this and cut the yoke? No, you will get it wrong. You have to pin it to close it this way before cutting the yoke. Don't leave it open and cut the yoke, it will be wrong. Close it this way, make a notch here, very important. Then you can now cut the yoke. All right, very, very important. We're going to fold our fabric into two, and this yoke, all right, you can actually, there are several ways to design it. You can choose to design it anyhow you want. I'll show you what I mean by that. So this is the yoke, all right, and the yoke should not be, when I cut, I'll tell you what I want to say. Now this is it. So see what I'm doing? I didn't open it like this and kept it like this. That would be wrong. Bring it back, close this, and then you cut it. So this is the yoke, and then I was saying something about this yoke. This yoke can actually design it anyhow you want. You can decide to leave it to be, you can decide to leave it to be straight like this. Let me keep it this way. The down part to be straight like this, and the length of the yoke, alright, the length of it, anything from 7 inches, 6, 8 inches is okay. 7, 8, 9, anyone is okay. So you can decide to make your yoke to be looking like this, slanted like this. You can decide to make it to be what? To be curved like this. You can decide to make it to be something like this one. You can decide to make it be something like this. You see, so actually anyhow you want to design it, okay? This is how I want this one to look, okay? So I'll just hem it here, hem it here, hem it here. All right, anyhow you want it to look. Now back to the back piece. Now the next thing we are going to do on this back piece is to run a stitch on this line here, this line we folded. Okay, we are going to run a stitch here, then I'll come back and show us how we fold it. So the stitch is on the good side. Mind you, we're cutting on the bad side, so we'll turn it to the good side. For this yoke is on the good side, we're making our stitch, all right? So we turn it on the good side, very importantly. Even on the good side, you can see the line is still appearing here. This is the line, all right? Look at the line here. We'll still press it to be more sure, all right? Make sure it is lying flat. Let's press it to be sure, double sure rather. Because already sure, let's be double sure, so that we don't have scattered work, right? So after pressing it, we still fold it again. You know, the one we did was on the wrong face, okay? So of course it will carry a different shape, so we need to confirm our shape. So now that we have pressed it, we now go to the machine and sew on this line here. When you are making this stitch, please don't allow your the back piece to be folding, to be squeezing. Let it be straight, okay? So as you can see, I have finished running my stitch. You can see I stitched inside this line. All right, I stitched inside the line from the beginning to the end. Turn this side. I even used the black thread so that you'll be able to see the line I'm talking about. I'm showing you. Can you see? So the next thing we are going to do now, how to press it. We'll now open, you see, we'll open this like this. All right, and for you to be sure that this what you sew is not more than 2 inches, you can bring your front piece and check if the wideness is still the same. So this is our front piece. We'll bring it here, compare the both of them. You see the wideness is what is the same, so you are correct. Thought somebody will clap for me. All right, so please, if you are watching this video and it's making sense, I will appreciate if you can hit the like button. If you can share the video, I will be so grateful. But if you like it, YouTube algorithm will recommend it for more people to view, so I would really appreciate that. Thank you so much. So you see, we're now going to press it. This is how you press it. Make sure the allowance is not pushed to one side more than the other side. See this line here, this center line we're having here, this pointed line should match with this sewn line. Should be, you get what I'm saying? Yeah, like that, you know, so that your allowance, if this side is half inch, this side should also be half inch. Okay, don't push it to one side, it won't look fine. Okay, so you see how I'm going to be opening it. So I'm opening it, then I'm pressing. I'm using my presser to make sure it is what, flat. Okay, you see. So the next thing, I'll still open it, keep my iron here, open it. Right, still sew it, press it, press it, open it. All right, press it. As I'm pressing, I'm ironing, I'm also using my presser. Okay, next, still do that, open it, well, press it, open it, press it. See? So we can see our back line. See how good it's looking. See this, see this, see this. All right, so when we bring our yoke, just to bring it, we keep it here. See this? Wow. And we'll hem it in, hem it that way, hem it this way, hem it this way, and we can see our native will be well done and ready. So if you like this video, if it made sense, I would really appreciate if you can hit the subscribe button. If you can give me a thumb up, I will appreciate. Thank you so much for watching. Welcome to Nard Fashion Hub, the best fashion channel in the world. Thank you.